I'm only playing a few lineups tonight, and ready to get after it. Sheets, any overall thoughts here that you want to point out, or guys you want to talk about before we get into it?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to. Well, all right. So I'm going to get right into my two construction ideas. Let me see. Let's see. Uh, so there's a couple of ways you can get different on a slate like this. One of them is what I'm going to probably do. Fields and Dobbs are both like projecting like to get. They're going to be getting like 50% of the captain ownership probably. So I'm going to probably in a good amount of lives just kind of X them out of there, and just use other guys as captain. So that's the first thing. I'm also going to leave money on the table in those lineups as well. And the other parts of my lineups that I'm going to use those guys as captains, I'm going, pretty cuckoo like with the rest of the stuff, like filtering in all the no chance cheapos, like Equinemius St. Brown, just Tyler Scott, guys that really have no business being played. But I just feel as though those guys are going to be so popular in the captain that I have to get different some other way.
Yeah, so my main guys for captain are going to be, and these are going to have some ownership too. So, but DJ Moore and Jordan Addison, and then the other one that I think is that you can make a case for, depending on how you see this game and what you want to get in, it would be Brandon Powell.
Yep, I love that.
So I think that captain is completely viable, and I would definitely encourage that. But yeah, Addison, Moore, Powell, then Kmet. Those are my only four captains tonight.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I'll save you the trouble of asking. No, I'm not going like 1,000,000,000% Josh Oliver this time. It's like become my brand apparently. Like when he scored a touchdown,
now it's gonna hit, and you're gonna be like, "What the hell?"
No, he hit pretty good last week. He already hit. Yeah, but he scored a touchdown. Like 10 people posted on Twitter. "Oh, Sheets must be." I'm like, Jesus Christ, just because one guy, whatever it is. So I think so. I'm not going to really be playing him. Yeah, that's pretty much. That's pretty much my taste. Now, again, if you want to know like who like the ridiculous cheapos are, like Robert Tonyan, Equinemius St. Brown, Josh Oliver as well, but I don't think I'm going to get to the real like CJ. These are guys like CJ Ham.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him score points. Like Mercedes Lewis, he could stumble into something. The third running back for Chicago, so would be probably either like Travis Homer, something like that, or the Blasting game.
Mm-hmm.
Just not getting to those guys either. The one like real, just like low projected bit of nonsense I might play is the is not Velvet Jones. What's Velus Jones Jr. Only because they run like whatever snaps he's in for, they're like running a play for him, So if he gets 5 snaps, maybe 2 of them will be reverses, and if he breaks one at low ownership, maybe. But I don't think I'm going to do that either. So those are the guys I'm Xing out. N'Keal Harry, I'm Xing out. When I say Xing out, these are guys that literally have like 0.6 fantasy points on whatchamacallit on SaberSim, and that's how I build my do my builds. But Brandon Powell I really like a lot. I actually do like Chandler more than Madison. I don't know. He did have less snaps than Madison, but it seemed as though he was much more efficient when he did get his snaps, and that's fair. That's sort of normal, I guess. So I think I like that Chandler. He's probably too expensive to play, which is why I like it.
Right.
But the reality are the good juicy plays are DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, like Bobby just mentioned, and TJ Hawkinson, I imagine. Cole Kmet. So like the top tight ends and the top wide receivers. But I'm gonna have like some Moonies and stuff like that, just because I'm playing all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So Osborne like hasn't done anything, but I just was sort of wanted to mention his name because I think he's kind of an interesting contrarian play. He
Yeah,
had
why not?
he didn't do anything last week, and no one's really talked about him at all today that I was hearing anyway. And we're sort of okay with going to this Powell thing, which I'm good with, by the way. But why not play a little more Osborne and maybe even consider the really off the board captain for Osborne?
Yeah, no. If I get to, and I'm running these now. If I get to, and I'm telling you, I'm getting a bunch of the Hawkinson captain, and so basically those guys I mentioned, Hawkinson, Moore, Addison would be like the top ones as far as it was obviously the non-quarterback captains. But if I get to some, the guy you just mentioned, Osborne, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. And another guy who I do have a little bit of the double running back thing because no one ever plays it. It seems to come through quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little bit of the Herbert and Rashawn Johnson, and I think it's okay to do the Chandler and the other way, but it's just a little more expensive with Chandler and Madison.
And as usual, I'm going to be under on the defenses, and just get punished every single time. Like it's just defenses every single slate seem to be optimal.
I got a little bit of each. I just sort of ended up there a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking at my ownership. I don't have any lineup stuff. Justin Fields. I have 77% of Dobbs, so I'm going to be.
I mean, both these guys have just so much rushing upside.
Yeah, it's really hard to just ignore them. I like Khalil Herbert a lot, though. And I just think that we could play a little bit of the rushing game here. Herbert had a lot of looks last week against Detroit, and I also like Rashawn Johnson. So I'm in on that double thing, as I mentioned. I'm just looking at other things I have. I've got a little bit of I have 15% of the Mooney, 15% of St. Brown. I thought St. Brown was in one of my big buy-ins. Who ended up in that big buy-in? Let me see what I ended up doing. All right.
Yeah, the big buy-ins could use like a cheapo, those lineups when you build those.
Yeah. And I think just getting a little different at captain is always the best way to differentiate on these slates. Now, often it will lead you into similar type of builds, but I like the idea of using the low-owned guy and then leaving, trying to leave 1,000 on the table or whatever, just to get a little different. Boy, how about that yesterday? Did you see? So you saw the millionaire winning lineup yesterday for the $20?
It was basically random, right? I mean,
well, it was. So what happened was, I think that he actually initially had Gabe Davis with Josh Allen, but I don't know why he switched it and just decided to go naked Allen. But he switched. I mean, because it's literally the same price. He switched over to the receiver from KC, which gave him exactly 2 more points than Gabe Davis did. So that was enough to win the tournament outright, rather than the people who had this Gabe Davis stacked with Allen, because there was 2 points less than Rashee Rice.
I mean, how many lineups did the guy have, by the way?
I don't know. I should have looked at that, but I also noticed that. I mean, this is the third week this year that we've had, third week out of the last 4 that the $20 winner didn't have any correlation at all.
Yeah, that was. I
think he had some secondary correlation.
What's that?
I think he had some secondary correlation.
It was back. I think it was an accident.
I think it was too. That was my first thought. This is a mistake. He meant to click on Davis and he clicked on Rice.
I just think the whole.
But also, he had his positioning out. I hate when people do that. It really frustrates me. Like, I don't understand why they always have. Like, every time I see a winning lineup, why does the running back have to be from the 1 o'clock games, not the 4 o'clock games? You know what I mean? In the flex.
Yeah.
You know, your guy's in the right place. And every now and then I'll make that mistake myself, but like, come on.
Mooney. I guess I could play some Tanyan. He just gets nothing. He just never gets anything. So I'm just keep it the way I had it.
Just want the 1 touchdown.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it the way I had it before.
Yeah.
Which is.
I like the over in this game the more I think about it, Sheets. I think this is a good over bet. You got a dome on Monday Night Football. The Vikings haven't really lost a step without Cousins, and Fields has been much better. Well, the Bears have been much better as a team, just both offensively and defensively. this game stays close, I think it's going to be like 28-24 or something like that. 27-24 maybe.
Could be.
Cade Cunningham and Ivy were each 45% owned for what it's
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even look yet.
And let's see who else got some ownership. I'm just going to take a quick look at some of these. Let's see. Sar Thompson, 20%. Max Christie. Max Christie still got 13% ownership because he's starting. That's pretty. I mean, honestly, he's 3,900 in starting. He's probably a pretty decent play.
Hard to argue.
Yeah. AD at 11%. 8 and 10. Duren 36.5%. And I faded him mostly, and I'm really sorry I did, probably. Even though he's after a slow start.
All right.
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to just finish this stuff. Again, so that's what I'm doing. Probably half my lineups are just neither of those guys as captains, and the ones that do have them.
Yeah, Josh, I just want to throw out that I couldn't disagree with that comment more. That you can't hate on someone who won $1 million. You could absolutely point out when there looks like an obvious mistake, and that looks like what it was to me. And it doesn't really matter. I've had a chance to win $1 million times now. Like, and it's just because some lineup squeaks through doesn't mean you weren't incredibly lucky in getting there.
Yeah. Just to let you know, I'll let you guys know what happened in my big buy-in, I guess, in the showdown. It's actually pretty different. I might change this, but right now I got like 2 cheapos. I don't even need it. I have all the top plays, which are I'll lead you guys to figure out. I have like the 2 quarterbacks and the 2 top receivers, I believe.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't know who is the top receiver for Minnesota. Is it Addison or is it Hawkinson?
Or Hawk? Oh, you mean as a tight end? I mean,
who's the best receiver? If you had to pick
they're
one,
both awesome. I mean, Addison is for sure the future guy. But
I mean today.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It really depends on whether you're talking about. Both matchups are really good for the wide receivers and the tight end. I think Hawkinson's a terrific play. He's the chalkier one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I played Addison. I was going to play Hawkinson as captain, but I try to stick to that one rule if I'm going to play in my big buy-ins at least. Like, just do not captain the guys who are going to be double-digit owned. And if you occasionally end up with one that's a little bit over 10%, okay. But I just think it's the right way to go, especially on the Thursday showdowns, because the short weeks really make things a lot different. Anyway,
I think this is what I want to do. Yeah, I'm playing. You like Herbert or you like Rashawn Johnson at all?
Yeah, he's in one of my big buy-ins. I have 2 big buy-ins.
All right. So I'm probably a little bit chalky in that, but whatever it is, what it is.
I don't think it's that chalky.
So who's off to a good start here in the NBA?
Oh,
no, really? D'Angelo Russell has 3 assists in 4 minutes. There you go.
The best player so far is the 1% on Shaden Sharp. Oh, they just took away a bunch of his points.
Oh, Michael Christie was only 13% in the big buy-in.
Yeah, no, that's like still, yeah. And I think it's because he was starting that he even got to that level.
Right. What was Embiid? You said
I didn't see Embiid.
The lottery Embiid is 27%. I think that's very fair.
Yeah, the thing is, Duren might outscore Embiid tonight. That's the problem.
And LeBron is only 17% in the lottery.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Oh, Ivy got it. Yeah, you mentioned that. Okay, Ivy 43%.
Ivy and Cunningham, I think, were the 2 highest.
What do you think Porter's going to end up being? I mean, it's going to be
really high.
He's going to be 60, right? I mean,
it's going to be really high for a guy with a range of outcomes.
That's
tell you
true.
that. But one of those ranges is that he's the highest scoring player on the slate. And that happens a pretty good amount of the time, I think.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're good. Always be on the lookout for the late call that we have a sweat in the showdown or something. We'll see. We'll see how it's going. But otherwise, let me check real quick. What do we have for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's a big NBA one. It's interesting. They kind of just kept the big games coming all week.
Wednesday is the 2,500, right?
Wednesday's the big one. I gotta get a ticket to that one.
You know, I played a satellite tonight.
Oh yeah, I hope I get maybe hope we can get a couple more here because that would be a fun one to win. It's on my birthday sheets. It's for $1 million. It's the first time this season we've had $1 million up there. Come on.
Sounds good to me.
If there's one time to win it, it's got to be this.
Wait, hold on. Did you put it up yet or no?
Not yet, because I'm deciding whether I want to play. I don't think I want to play 2, but it really you don't get the $1 million chances very often in basketball.
No, you don't.
1,000 people, so it kind of flirting with the idea of playing 2 of them because I already won one. So, but who knows? Maybe I'll win another one. All right.
There's no flames in the whole first game here.
Just good news for me, I guess.
I guess so. All right, guys. I will. Good luck. I will catch you guys later.
Good luck, man.